Hello everyone, Miss Clem here, the Academic Advisor for 11th and 12th grade for VAVA. And I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to check your assignments to see what you have completed, your grade book, how to check your grade book, and just how to check your overall progress. So the first place I want to jump into is a classroom. Okay, we're going to go into this government politics classroom. Let's move this over. First place you're going to land on is the home page for the classroom. And I want to draw your attention to one thing as you land on your home page. You want to make sure that you're checking your class announcements here. This is where all the information from your teacher regarding this class is going to be, if there's special announcements. Okay, and don't forget to click the Show All Announcements button. It will take you to any announcements that the teacher has put out there. Okay, let's go back over to the home page. All right, now I want to click into this Content tab, and I want to show you the way that you can see what assignments you have looked at and where you're at in the class, basically. So there's a lot of information under this Content tab. The layout is basically you have a menu on the left, and then when you click through this menu, the information is going to pop up over here. So the first place, let's go to the full table of contents. I like this view because it shows you everything that is loaded in the classroom for the modules for the term. Okay, so you can get a good feel of the overall class. Classes will look a little bit, different from one class to the next, but overall they're basically laid out like this. So you can go in here and you can look at each section, each module that the teacher has laid out for you. Course materials is going to show any resources that the teacher may have in this particular section, the syllabus, information, etc. Okay, and then you can pop back over here and go to Module 1. Okay, and use your menu button on the left, and this is going to show you everything that's in Module 1. So you notice these check marks start showing. That means that the student has gone in and looked at these individual modules and these individual topics within the module. Okay, if you have not looked into these assignments, there will be a dot here instead of a check mark. Okay, so let's go down into a section that the student has not actually been in yet. Let's go to Module 2. So I can show you exactly what that dot looks like. So this is the first module in Unit 2. Let's click on that, and now you're going to see the dots. Okay, and before in Module 1, you saw all the check marks here. Okay, so the one thing you do need to know about the dots and the check marks, just because it has a check mark, it does not mean that the assignment has actually been all the way submitted. So there are activities in these modules, and then there are actually graded assignments. So as you click through here, you're going to start to see the difference in something, named like an external tool. This is something you're going to go in, and it'll be an introduction or a lesson or a practice area. So these may be videos or documents to read or things of that nature. So the important thing is that you understand to know that just because there's a check mark there doesn't mean that the assignment was actually submitted. So let's look at Module 1. The way that you can make sure that the graded assignment was submitted is if you see something like assessment or quiz or the words graded assignment, you can look in here and make sure that this quiz was actually submitted into the system. Okay, so you can click on the quiz, see how it has a check mark here, but we're just going to make double sure that it was actually submitted. Not that you just looked at it and then came out of it, but we want to make sure that you took the quiz. So this is graded. There's a score here. One thing to note, on certain quizzes, teachers may let you have additional attempts, so always be making sure that you're looking here. You can review this as well and see if the student had missed any questions. It would show you each question and what you missed. So this is a great way to review the material to understand what you missed. You can also print this out, and that's a great way to study for the big test, the unit test, is to print out your quizzes and review those. So just a side tip there. And then if you have another chance to take the quiz, you can retake it here. Okay, but we have thoroughly checked that this graded assignment was completed. So you want to work through these modules and just make sure that you know, your dots are gone and you have your check marks, and you want to make sure that each graded assignment is actually submitted. Okay, and we're just going to look into this external learning tool because it's not a graded assignment, it's just something that you can do to learn the material. Okay, and also be on the lookout when you click into these learning modules that you're going to have materials in here that the teacher has loaded or the curriculum has loaded for you to use as a study guide. So when you click on this, it could be a Word document, could be a PDF, but these are very valuable things that you can use that will give you a study guide to go by as you're going through the material. So be on the lookout for these types of resources inside these learning modules. Okay, so let's go back to the content tab. Okay, let's go back to the very beginning where we were. And I like to have a nice clean look. I collapse everything. Then I can go module by module just to make sure of where I'm at. So in this Unit 1 module, we see there's not a check mark here. We still have a number. So that means there's one thing in there to do. So to find that one thing that's left to do, it looks like they're waiting, probably studying, to take this big unit test. Okay? So once they complete the unit test, this would change to a check mark. Okay? All right, so that's kind of how to use the table of contents feature and the menu over here to see what all is in this classroom. So this student has moved through most of Unit 1, and you can see there's a progress bar here to show you that 30 of the 183 required topics has been moved through, and they're 16% finished with the class. One other feature that I'd like to show you while we're on this page is the course schedule button. I love this feature because for each class, it will show you just for that class what is due by day. Okay, so let's minimize this and I'll show you a cleaner look. So this upcoming schedule, once you go under course schedule and this upcoming feature, it's going to show you today, tomorrow, and then the next 7 days what is on the daily plan schedule for just this class. So this is a very clean look if you need to just look at one class and see what's coming up. Then you open these up and it takes you to exactly what is due for that day. Okay, or what may be coming up that's due. It's the next thing that that student needs to complete in this class. Okay, according to what the teacher is scheduling. And then you have a little future view here as well, next 7 days. Now, if you want a full schedule of the entire class from the day that the class started, you click on full schedule here. Okay, and this is going to take you all the way back to September 1 when the class started. So then it goes module by module, you know, a learning assignment. It gives you a very detailed view of what is in this class, day by day. And then you can see if it's been completed, it'll have the check mark. And again, just a reminder, any quizzes, assessments, graded assignments, you know, you need to make sure you have the check mark, but you also need to go in and make sure that you have submitted that assignment to make sure it's completed. And I'm also going to show you how to go to the gradebook and make sure those are submitted as well in just a minute. But I really like this full schedule view. And parents, quick tip, or students, if you want to print this out, you can do that as well, and you know, check it off by hand if that's something you like to do as well. Okay, so that is the course schedule tab. Let's talk quickly about the gradebook tab while we're right here. This is a way for you to check and make sure that all of your graded assignments are submitted. So as you look in the gradebook, you're going to have your overall grade here. Okay, and then it's going to go item, it's sectioned off into sections, but then it goes item by item here for the whole class, for the entire semester or term. So you can see, you know, if you're missing a quiz, like they haven't taken this quiz yet. So, you know, we could go and find this quiz in the actual content of the class. So this is a great way to check and make sure that you're not missing any graded assignments. Teachers will soon start putting zeros in here. If there's something that you haven't turned in by the due date, they'll put a 0 in there to kind of get your attention, because that will drop your grade down, obviously, but that'll get your attention to say, oh, okay, what have I not turned in? What am I missing? So you can come to the grade book. You know, if you see something that doesn't have a score or that's a 0, you can highlight part of the assignment name. You can right click on that and copy that, and then you can go back to the content tab. This is just a quick gradebook trick that I learned, and you can right click in that and paste the name, the part of the name of that assignment. Don't put the whole name, just put part of it, and then click search in this handy toolbar, and it will take you straight to this assignment. Okay, so this is a graded assignment. This is the materials that go with the assignment. And then it also shows you the due date here. So you can click into this assignment. Okay, this person did actually submit the assignment, and then just waiting on the teacher to grade it. Okay, so that's why it was missing out of the grade book. So that is good to know. Okay, so now this student can say, okay, I know I'm waiting on the teacher to grade this, and just rule of thumb, if it has graded assignment in the title, that usually means the teacher is hand grading it. If it has a title like this, just, the plain quiz, then that means it's usually computer graded. Okay, so that's just a quick look at the grade book and a little quick tip on how to find these graded assignments within the content tab and the content of your classes. All right, let's quickly go over the progress tab. If you hit the progress tab within a classroom, it's only going to give you the progress of this particular class, which is good if you want to just look at this class. I like the content, required, and optional topics here. This is again just an overview of this tab, but it kind of gives you an overall view of how much time has been spent in the class, how many topics have been visited. Again, you can look here and see, okay, Module 1 is almost complete, 97% complete, and you can go in here and you can maximize out all of these arrows and see all of these modules in each section. Okay, so you can go really far down into here and see everything. Okay, and it gives you a progress bar for each little section of each module. So the other place that I like to see progress is if you click on more and you click on my progress, This gives you progress for not only the class that you were looking at, but it shows you all of your classes. Okay, so you can go through and click through each class and check them all in one spot. So that, can be handy as well.